One of the most powerful spiritual truths that has the power to completely transform your life forever is understanding that you are the universe's favorite person. This great transformation doesn't involve complicated rituals or years of meditation that requires perfect technique. This principle is related to the person you already are deep inside. For example, if your desire is to feel loved and supported every day, the truth is that you need to accept that the universe already chose you as its favorite before this shows up in your life. Otherwise, you'll keep looking outside yourself for proof that you matter. Think about this for a moment. Right now, as you're watching this video, billions of people exist on this planet. Billions of souls, each with their own dreams, fears, and desires. And yet, out of all those people, you are here. You found this message. You clicked on this video. Do you think that's an accident? Do you think the universe just randomly brought you to these exact words at this exact moment in your life? The truth is far more beautiful than you realize. You didn't stumble upon this message by chance. The universe has been guiding you here because it has something important to tell you. Something you've forgotten, something the world has convinced you isn't true, but it is true, and it's time you remembered. Every morning when you wake up, the universe makes a choice. Out of all the souls it could focus on, all the people it could shower with blessings, all the lives it could make magical, it chooses you. It has always chosen you. From the moment you took your first breath until this very second, you have been the universe's favorite child. But here's what happens to most people. They spend their whole lives waiting for someone to tell them they matter. They wait for their parents to finally say they're proud. They wait for their boss to notice their hard work. They wait for their partner to show them the love they crave. They wait and wait and wait, never realizing that the most powerful force in existence has been loving them unconditionally every single day. So the first learning in this principle is if you don't believe you're already chosen, nothing external will convince you. This is why some people can have everything, money, success, relationships, and still feel empty inside. This is why others can have very little but feel incredibly blessed. It's not about what you have, it's about understanding who you are. This is the core truth of being the universe's favorite. If you truly accept this, everything in your life will start flowing like magic. However, this requires you to let go of old stories about not being good enough. You may hear words from your past that still hurt. Words that told you that you weren't special, that you weren't chosen, that you had to work harder than everyone else just to deserve basic love and respect. Maybe those words came from family members who were dealing with their own pain. Maybe they came from teachers who didn't understand your unique gifts. Maybe they came from friends who were jealous of something beautiful they saw in you. Or maybe they came from your own mind, repeating messages you heard so many times that you started to believe they were true. But I need you to understand something crucial right now. Those words were never true. They were never about you. They were about people who had forgotten their own worth, their own place as the universe's beloved. Hurt people, but loved people love people, and you, my friend, are deeply loved. If you're really ready to step into your true place as the universe's beloved, this video is for you. If you're tired of feeling like you have to earn every good thing that comes your way, this message will set you free. If you're ready to stop begging the universe for scraps and start living like the chosen one you've always been, then what I'm about to share will change your life forever. But I have to warn you about something. When you start living like the universe's favorite, when you start speaking the words I'm going to teach you, when you start expecting good things to happen to you simply because you exist, some people around you might not understand. They might tell you that you're being unrealistic. They might say you're getting your hopes up. They might even try to bring you back down to their level of believing that life is hard and love is something you have to earn. Don't listen to them. They're speaking from their own pain, their own disconnection from this truth. They've forgotten that they're the universe's favorite too. They've bought into the lie that there isn't enough love to go around, that the universe plays favorites in a way that leaves some people out. But that's not how love works. That's not how the universe works. The universe doesn't have just one favorite. It has billions of favorites. Every single person reading this, every single soul on this planet is the universe's favorite. But most people never claim it. Most people never step into it. Most people live their entire lives not knowing they were chosen from the very beginning. In this video, I'll also share with you the exact daily words that I still speak every morning. Words that have transformed my life in ways I never thought possible. Words that have opened doors, brought opportunities, healed relationships, and filled my heart with a peace I never knew existed. These aren't just pretty phrases or positive thinking. These are declarations of truth that align you with who you really are. When you speak these words every day, when you truly mean them, when you let them sink into every cell of your body, something magical happens. The universe starts responding to you differently. People start treating you differently. Opportunities start showing up differently. Problems start resolving themselves differently because you're finally in alignment with your true identity. So today, we're going to discover this truth and how it can change everything for you. But first, I need you to understand something that will shift how you see everything in your life. Life is like a loving parent that has a favorite child, and that child is you. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but that's not fair to the other children. But here's the beautiful truth about the universe. It doesn't work like human love. Human love is limited. We only have so much time, so much energy, so much attention to give. But the universe's love is infinite. It can love you completely while also loving everyone else completely. Think about the sun for a moment. When the sun shines on your face, does it shine any less on someone else's face? When the sun warms your skin, does it become less warm for another person? Of course not. The sun has enough light and warmth for everyone, and the universe has enough love for everyone too. But here's where it gets even more beautiful. Just like a loving parent wants to give their child everything they need to be happy and successful, the universe wants to give you everything you need. Not just the basic things like food and shelter, though it wants you to have those too. It wants to give you joy. It wants to give you peace. It wants to give you love. It wants to give you purpose. It wants to give you everything your heart truly desires. When a parent truly loves their child, they don't make that child beg for basic care. They don't make that child prove they deserve food or shelter or love. They give these things freely, joyfully, because that's what love does, and that's exactly how the universe feels about you. But here's what happens to most people. They grow up in a world that teaches them love is conditional. They learn that they have to be good enough, smart enough, pretty enough, successful enough to deserve good things. They learn that the universe is somehow keeping score, that they have to earn every blessing, that they have to suffer before they can be happy. This is the biggest lie ever told. The universe isn't keeping score. The universe isn't withholding good things until you prove yourself worthy. The universe has already decided you're worthy. You were worthy the moment you were born. You were worthy before you were born. You've always been worthy. The universe is constantly trying to show you that you're special, but most people miss the signs. They're so focused on what's wrong, so trained to expect problems, so convinced that life is hard, that they walk right past miracle after miracle. Let me ask you something. Did you have to earn your next breath? Did you have to prove yourself worthy of your heartbeat? Did you have to do anything special to make your eyes see or your ears hear? Of course not. These gifts were given to you freely, automatically, without you having to do anything at all. That's favoritism. That's the universe taking care of its beloved child. You. Every single day, without you even asking, the universe is giving you hundreds of gifts. The gift of consciousness, the gift of being alive in this incredible time in history, the gift of having access to all human knowledge through the device you're watching this on, the gift of being able to learn, to grow, to love, to dream. But most people take these gifts for granted. They focus on what they don't have instead of marveling at what they do have. They complain about their problems instead of celebrating their blessings. They look for evidence that life is hard instead of noticing all the ways life is supporting them. This is why some people can have very little in terms of material things, but feel incredibly rich and blessed. And this is why other people can have everything the world says they should want, but still feel empty and unloved. It's not about what you have. It's about what you notice. It's about what you focus on. It's about whether you see yourself as someone who has to fight for every good thing or someone who is naturally blessed because you're the universe's favorite. When you really understand this, when you really let this truth sink in, everything changes. You stop begging the universe for things and start expecting them. You stop wondering if you deserve good things and start accepting them. You stop trying to earn love and start claiming the love that was always yours. But this shift doesn't happen overnight. Your mind has been trained for years, maybe decades, to think differently. You've been programmed to believe that you have to struggle, that you have to prove yourself, that good things only come to people who work harder than everyone else. That programming runs deep. It's in your thoughts, your emotions, your automatic reactions to life. When something good happens, your first thought might be, "This is too good to be true," or "I don't deserve this," or "Something bad is probably going to happen to balance this out." These thoughts aren't really your thoughts. They're the thoughts of a world that has forgotten the truth about love, about worthiness, about how the universe really works. They're the thoughts of people who have been hurt, who have been disappointed, who have learned to protect themselves by expecting the worst. But you don't have to live from those thoughts anymore. You don't have to let other people's pain and fear and limiting beliefs control how you see yourself and your life. You can choose different thoughts. You can choose to see yourself the way the universe sees you. You can choose to remember who you really are. So let's explore the 4 keys that will help you feel this love every single day. These keys will unlock a way of living that most people never experience, a way of living where good things happen to you not because you're lucky, not because you worked hard enough, not because you finally earned them, but simply because you're you, simply because you're the universe's beloved child. The first key is about recognizing all the ways the universe is already showing you favoritism. The second key is about understanding why this new way of thinking takes time to feel real. The third key is about the exact words you need to speak every day to align with this truth. And the fourth key is about how to live every moment like the chosen one you've always been. These keys aren't just concepts to understand, they're tools to use. They're practices to live by. They're the bridge between the life you've been living and the life you were always meant to live. The life of someone who knows, without any doubt, that they are deeply loved, completely supported, and absolutely favored by the most powerful force in existence. The first key is to understand that the universe has been showing you favoritism your whole life. I know this might be hard to believe right now, especially if you're going through a difficult time. Maybe you're struggling with money, or relationships, or health, or just feeling lost in life. Maybe you're thinking, if I'm really the universe's favorite, why is my life so hard? But here's what I need you to understand. The universe's favoritism doesn't mean your life will be perfect, or that you'll never face challenges. Being the universe's favorite doesn't mean you're immune to problems. It means that even in the middle of your problems, even when things seem to be falling apart, the universe is still taking care of you in ways you might not even notice. Let me give you some examples of how the universe has been showing you favoritism every single day of your life. You woke up today. Do you know how miraculous that is? Your heart beat over 100,000 times while you slept. Your lungs took in thousands of breaths without you having to think about it. Your body healed cuts and bruises, fought off germs, and regenerated millions of cells, all while you were unconscious. That's favoritism. That's the universe taking care of its beloved child. You can see these words right now. You can understand language. You can think complex thoughts. You can feel emotions. You can imagine things that don't exist yet. You can remember beautiful moments from your past. You can plan for a future you want to create. Do you think these abilities just happened by accident? These are gifts that the universe gave you, special powers that make you different from every other creature on this planet. But most people never think about these things. They take them for granted. They focus on what's missing instead of what's already there. They look for big dramatic signs that they're special while missing hundreds of small daily miracles. Think about this. The air you breathe is free. The sunshine that warms your skin and helps plants grow your food is free. The water that falls from the sky to nourish the earth is free. The beauty of a sunset, the sound of birds singing, the feeling of wind on your face, all free gifts from the universe to you. Every person you've ever loved, every moment of joy you've ever experienced, every time you've laughed until your stomach hurt, every time you felt peaceful and content. These weren't accidents. These were the universe showing you how much it loves you, how much it wants you to be happy. Even the challenges you faced, even the difficult times, even the moments when you felt lost or afraid, the universe was still taking care of you. It gave you strength you didn't know you had. It brought people into your life to help you. It opened doors when you thought all hope was lost. It taught you things about yourself that you could only learn through experience. Every time you thought you couldn't handle something and then you did, that was the universe showing you how strong you are. Every time you felt broken and then you healed, that was the universe showing you how resilient you are. Every time you made a mistake and learned from it, that was the universe showing you how wise you can become. But here's the mistake most people make. They look for big, obvious signs that they're special. They want the universe to write their name in the sky, or have a famous person call them on the phone or win the lottery. They think favoritism has to look like what they see in movies or read about in books. But the universe speaks in small daily miracles. It speaks in perfect timing. It speaks in unexpected opportunities. It speaks in the right person, showing up at exactly the right moment. It speaks in solutions appearing just when you need them most. It speaks in feelings of peace that come from nowhere. It speaks in sudden bursts of inspiration and creativity. The universe speaks in the way traffic lights turn green just as you approach them. It speaks in finding exactly what you need at the store. It speaks in getting a text from someone you were just thinking about. It speaks in hearing the perfect song at the perfect moment. It speaks in all the little things that make you smile and feel grateful and remind you that life is good. Most people miss these signs because they're waiting for something bigger. They're waiting for something more obvious. But the universe doesn't need to be loud to be powerful. It doesn't need to be dramatic to be real. Some of the most beautiful love stories are told in whispers. Some of the most powerful messages are delivered in silence. Here's an exercise that will change your life if you actually do it. Every morning when you wake up, before you check your phone, before you start thinking about your problems, before you start planning your day, take a moment to look around and say, "Thank you, universe, for choosing me today. Show me 3 ways you're taking care of me right now." Then actually look for them. Maybe it's the comfortable bed you slept in. Maybe it's the roof over your head. Maybe it's the fact that you can move your body. Maybe it's the clean water you can drink. Maybe it's the food in your kitchen. Maybe it's the people who love you. Maybe it's the opportunities you have today that millions of people around the world would give anything for. Don't just think about these things. Actually feel grateful for them. Actually let yourself be amazed by them. Actually let yourself feel loved because of them. Because these aren't just random good things that happen to exist in your life. These are gifts. These are signs. These are the universe's way of saying, you matter to me. You're important to me. I want you to be happy and comfortable and loved. When you start doing this exercise every morning, something incredible happens. You start noticing more and more signs throughout your day. You start seeing patterns of love and care and support that were always there, but that you never paid attention to before. You start feeling connected to something bigger than yourself. You start feeling chosen. You start feeling loved. Watch how your whole day changes when you start looking for these signs. When you're looking for evidence that you're the universe's favorite, you'll find it everywhere. When you're expecting good things to happen, they start happening more often. When you're grateful for what you already have, more things to be grateful for start showing up. This isn't just positive thinking. This isn't just trying to feel better about your life. This is recognizing what was always true. This is finally seeing what was always there. This is coming home to who you really are and how much you're really loved. What you need to understand is that feeling like the universe's favorite takes time to sink in. This isn't because the love isn't real or because you're not actually chosen. It's because your mind has been trained to think differently for a very long time. From the time you were a small child, you've been getting messages about how love works. Maybe you learned that you had to be good to get attention. Maybe you learned that you had to achieve something to make people proud. Maybe you learned that love was something that could be taken away if you made mistakes. Maybe you learned that you had to compete with others for affection and approval. Your mind has been programmed to think that love is earned, that good things only come to people who deserve them, that you have to prove your worth before you can expect to be treated well. This programming is so deep that even when good things happen to you, your first thought might be, I must have done something right, instead of, I'm loved just because I exist. So when you start saying, I am the universe's favorite, when you start claiming your place as someone who is naturally blessed and deeply loved, your old thoughts fight back. They tell you that you're being unrealistic. They tell you that you're setting yourself up for disappointment. They tell you that you're not that special, that you're just like everyone else, that you need to work harder and be better before you can expect the universe to favor you. These thoughts feel very real. They feel very true. They feel like they're protecting you from getting hurt. But they're not your thoughts. They're the thoughts of a world that has forgotten how love really works. They're the thoughts of people who learn to survive by not expecting too much, by not getting their hopes up, by playing it safe. But you don't have to live from these thoughts anymore. You don't have to let fear and doubt and old programming control how you see yourself. You can choose new thoughts. You can choose to believe what the universe has been trying to tell you all along. This is why this process takes time. Your feelings need time to catch up to your new way of thinking. Your nervous system needs time to relax and stop expecting danger around every corner. Your heart needs time to open and trust that good things can last, that love doesn't have to be earned, that you really are as special as you're starting to believe. One day you'll wake up and feel amazing. You'll feel chosen and loved and blessed. You'll look around at your life and think, wow, I really am the universe's favorite. You'll feel grateful and peaceful and excited about what's coming next. You'll feel like you're finally seeing clearly, like you finally remembered who you really are. But then something might happen. Maybe someone will say something that triggers your old insecurities. Maybe you'll face a challenge that makes you doubt whether you're really protected. Maybe you'll compare yourself to someone else and start thinking that they must be more favored than you. Maybe you'll just have a bad day where nothing seems to go right. And then all the old thoughts come rushing back. See, I knew this was too good to be true. I knew I wasn't that special. I knew the universe doesn't really care about me. I was just fooling myself. This is completely normal. This is part of the process. This doesn't mean you were wrong to believe you're the universe's favorite. This doesn't mean the love isn't real. This just means your mind is still learning a new way to think, and sometimes it slips back into old patterns. Think of it like learning to ride a bike. When you first get on, you wobble. You might fall down. You might get scared and want to give up. But that doesn't mean you can't learn to ride. It just means you need more practice. It just means you need to keep getting back on until the new way of balancing becomes natural. The same thing happens when you're learning to see yourself as the universe's favorite. Some days you'll feel it completely. Some days you'll doubt it completely. Some days you'll be somewhere in between. This is all part of learning to live from a new truth about who you are. The key is to keep saying it even when you don't feel it yet. The key is to be patient with yourself while your feelings catch up to your words. The key is to remember that just because something feels unfamiliar doesn't mean it's not true. When you learned to walk, did you give up the first time you fell down? When you learned to talk, did you stop trying the first time you couldn't pronounce a word correctly? Of course not. You kept practicing until it became natural. You kept trying until it became easy. This is the same thing. Learning to live like the universe's favorite is a skill. Learning to expect good things is a skill. Learning to feel worthy of love without having to earn it is a skill. And like any skill, it takes practice. Some days the practice will feel easy and natural. Some days it will feel forced and awkward. Some days you'll believe every word you're saying. Some days you'll feel like you're just repeating empty phrases. But if you keep going, if you keep practicing, if you keep choosing the new thought over the old thought, eventually the new way of seeing yourself will become your natural way of being. Your feelings will catch up to your words. Your heart will catch up to your mind. Your experience will catch up to your faith. And one day you'll realize that you don't have to convince yourself anymore. You'll just know. You'll just feel it. You'll just be living from the truth that you are deeply loved, completely chosen, and absolutely favored by the most powerful force in existence. The universe doesn't hear your doubts. It hears your strongest beliefs. This is one of the most important things you need to understand about how reality works. The universe isn't listening to your quiet fears or your secret worries or your passing negative thoughts. It's listening to what you say with conviction, what you repeat consistently, what you declare with authority. Most people have this backwards. They think their negative thoughts are more powerful than their positive ones. They think their fears are more real than their hopes. They think their doubts are more honest than their dreams. But that's not how the universe operates. The universe responds to consistency. It responds to repetition. It responds to the words you say over and over again, the beliefs you reinforce day after day, the identity you claim for yourself again and again. If you keep saying, "Nothing goes right for me," the universe hears that as a strong belief, as something you're convinced is true about your life. And the universe, like a loving friend who wants to validate what you believe, says, "Okay, if that's what you believe about yourself, here's more evidence to support that belief." But if you say, "I am the universe's favorite person," if you say it every day, if you say it with feeling, if you say it like you mean it, the universe hears that too, and it responds with yes. You remember who you are. Here's more proof of how favored you are. The universe isn't judging your thoughts. It's not deciding whether your positive or negative beliefs are better or worse. It's simply responding to whatever you're putting out there most consistently and most powerfully. This is why what you say matters so much. This is why the words you speak every day have the power to shape your entire reality. Not because the words themselves are magic, but because they program your mind to look for certain things, to expect certain outcomes, to see yourself in a certain way. When you say, "I am the universe's favorite person" every morning, you're not just speaking words into the air. You're programming your subconscious mind to look for evidence that this is true. You're training your brain to notice all the ways you're being blessed and supported and loved. You're conditioning yourself to expect good things to happen. And here's the beautiful part. When you're looking for evidence that you're favored, you find it. When you're expecting good things to happen, they happen more often. When you see yourself as someone who is naturally blessed, you start making decisions and taking actions that align with that identity. Let me give you the exact words that will change your life if you speak them every single day. These aren't just pretty phrases or hopeful wishes. These are declarations of truth that will align you with who you really are. Every morning, as soon as you wake up, before you do anything else, say these words out loud. "I am the universe's favorite person. Everything works out for me. I am loved, chosen, and protected always." Say them like you mean them. Say them with feeling. Say them with conviction. Don't worry if you don't believe them yet. Don't worry if they feel strange or foreign or too good to be true. Just say them. Just let them be the first words that come out of your mouth each day. I am the universe's favorite person. This isn't arrogance. This isn't selfishness. This isn't claiming that you're better than anyone else. This is simply claiming your rightful place as someone who is deeply loved. Remember, the universe has enough love for everyone to be its favorite. You claiming your place doesn't take anything away from anyone else. Everything works out for me. This doesn't mean everything will be easy. This doesn't mean you'll never face challenges. This means that even when things seem difficult, even when you can't see how a situation will resolve itself, you trust that the universe is working things out for your highest good. You trust that what seems like a problem today might be a blessing in disguise. You trust that the universe is always conspiring to help you, even when you can't see how. I am loved, chosen, and protected always. This is the foundation of everything. This is the truth that changes everything else. You are not alone in this world. You are not forgotten. You are not insignificant. You are loved by a force that is more powerful than any problem you could ever face. You are chosen by an intelligence that knows exactly what you need and when you need it. You are protected by a love that will never leave you or abandon you. When you speak these words every day, when you really let them sink in, when you start to believe them in your bones, everything changes. You stop looking for love in all the wrong places because you know you already have it. You stop begging the universe for good things because you know they're already on their way. You stop worrying about whether you deserve blessings because you know your worth was never in question. But here's what's really important. Focus on what you want to feel, not what you're missing. Most people use their words to describe their problems, to complain about what's wrong, to tell everyone who will listen about how hard their life is. Every time you do this, every time you focus on what's missing or broken or difficult, you're programming your mind to see more of the same. You're training your brain to look for problems instead of solutions, lack instead of abundance, evidence that life is hard instead of evidence that you're blessed. This is why the words you speak matter so much. This is why you need to be intentional about what comes out of your mouth. This is why you need to train yourself to talk about what you want instead of what you don't want. Instead of saying, "I never have enough money," say, "Money flows to me easily and frequently." Instead of saying, "Nothing ever works out for me," say, "I am amazed by how often things work out perfectly." Instead of saying, "I'm so unlucky," Say, I am incredibly blessed and favored. This isn't about lying to yourself or pretending problems don't exist. This is about training your mind to look for solutions instead of dwelling on problems. This is about choosing to focus on what's possible instead of what's wrong. This is about remembering that your words have power and using that power to create the life you want instead of reinforcing the life you don't want. This is how you train the universe to spoil you. Not by demanding or begging or trying to manipulate outcomes, but by aligning your words with the truth of who you are, by speaking like someone who knows they're loved, by talking like someone who expects good things, by declaring like someone who remembers they're the universe's favorite child. When you do this consistently, when you make it a daily practice, when you let these words become as natural as breathing, you'll be amazed at how your world begins to change. Opportunities will start showing up. People will treat you differently. Problems will resolve themselves more easily. Good things will happen more often. Not because you're trying to force anything, but because you're finally in alignment with the truth of who you've always been. This final key will change everything forever, and if you learn to master this, you will no longer be uncertain about what you do. You will literally see reality changing before your eyes. You'll understand how to live every single moment like the chosen one you've always been. Most people wait for proof before they act like they're special. They think they need to see evidence first before they can believe they're the universe's favorite. They want the universe to show them signs, then they'll start acting loved. They want good things to happen to them first, then they'll start expecting more good things. They want their life to change first, then they'll start believing they deserve better. But that's exactly backwards. That's like waiting for someone to love you before you love yourself. That's like waiting for success before you start believing you can succeed. That's like waiting for confidence before you start acting confident. It doesn't work that way. Favorites don't wait for permission to feel special. They don't wait for proof that they matter. They don't wait for someone else to tell them they're worthy. They know who they are, and they live from that knowing every single day. Think about a child who knows they're loved by their parents. Do they wait for their parents to prove it every morning before they feel secure? Do they question whether they deserve breakfast or hugs or bedtime stories? Of course not. They wake up expecting to be cared for because they know they're loved. They act from that knowing. They live from that certainty. That's how you need to start living. Not from doubt and fear and uncertainty, but from knowing. Not from hoping you might be special, but from remembering that you are special. Not from trying to earn the universe's love, but from accepting the love that was always yours. Here's how this works in practical terms. Instead of looking at your problems first thing in the morning and letting them determine how you feel about your day, you start with declaring your status. You start with remembering who you are. You start with claiming your place as the universe's beloved. Most people wake up and immediately start thinking about everything that's wrong. They think about their bills, their problems, their fears, their stress. They let their circumstances tell them how to feel. They let their current situation determine their mood and their expectations for the day. But when you live like the universe's favorite, you reverse this process. You wake up and you declare who you are first. You speak your truth first. You remember your identity first. Then you look at your circumstances from that place of knowing you're loved and supported. When you do this, when you start with declaring your status instead of focusing on your problems, something magical happens. Your problems start to look smaller. Your challenges start to feel more manageable. Your fears start to lose their power over you. It's not that your problems disappear overnight. It's not that challenges don't exist. It's that you face them from a completely different place. You face them knowing that you have the most powerful force in the universe on your side. You face them knowing that even if you can't see the solution right now, the universe is already working things out for you. So here's what you do. Every morning, you say the words, I am the universe's favorite person. Everything works out for me. I am loved, chosen, and protected always. You say them like you mean them. You say them like they're the most important words you'll speak all day, because they are. Then, throughout your day, you look for small confirmations. You pay attention to the little signs that the universe is taking care of you. Maybe you hit all green lights on your way to work. Maybe someone holds the door open for you. Maybe you find exactly what you need at the store. Maybe you get a text from someone you've been thinking about. When these things happen, when you notice these small signs of favor, you don't dismiss them as coincidences. You don't brush them off as random events. You acknowledge them. You celebrate them. You say, of course, I'm the universe's favorite. This might feel silly at first. You might think you're making a big deal out of nothing, but here's what you need to understand. These aren't nothing. These are the universe's way of communicating with you. These are love letters written in the language of daily life. When you start acknowledging these signs, when you start celebrating these small confirmations, something incredible happens. You start noticing more of them. You start seeing patterns of love and support that were always there but that you never paid attention to before. It's like when you're thinking about buying a certain car and suddenly you start seeing that car everywhere. The cars were always there, but now you're paying attention to them. Same thing happens when you start looking for evidence that you're the universe's favorite. The evidence was always there, but now you're finally noticing it. I've been doing this for years, and now my life feels magical. I'm not exaggerating when I say that. I wake up every day expecting good things to happen, and they do. I face challenges knowing that somehow, some way, everything will work out, and it always does. I make decisions from a place of trust instead of fear, and those decisions lead to opportunities I never could have imagined. This didn't happen overnight. It took time for me to truly believe these words I was saying. It took practice to train my mind to look for evidence of love instead of evidence of struggle. It took patience to let my feelings catch up to my new way of thinking. But the more I claimed it, the more real it became. The more I acted like someone who was loved and favored, the more my life reflected that truth. The more I expected good things, the more good things showed up. The more I trusted that everything would work out, the more smoothly things actually worked out. This isn't about positive thinking or wishful thinking or trying to pretend problems don't exist. This is about remembering who you really are and living from that truth. This is about aligning your thoughts, your words, and your actions with the reality that you are deeply loved by the most powerful force in existence. When you live like this, when you really embody this truth, people notice. They're drawn to your energy. They want to be around you. Opportunities show up that wouldn't have come otherwise. Doors open that you never even knew existed. Problems resolve themselves in ways that seem almost miraculous. Because when you're living in alignment with your true identity as the universe's favorite, when you're operating from that place of knowing you're loved and supported, you make different choices, you take different actions, you show up differently in the world, and the world responds to you differently. If you start living like the universe's favorite, your whole world changes. I'm not speaking in theories or concepts here. This is real. This is something I live every day, and it works in ways that still amaze me. At first, I felt silly saying these words. I am the universe's favorite person felt like such a bold thing to claim. Part of me worried that I was being arrogant or unrealistic. Part of me expected the universe to somehow punish me for having the audacity to believe I was special. But then, amazing things started happening. Small things at first. I would need something, and it would show up exactly when I needed it. I would have a problem, and the solution would present itself in the most unexpected way. I would be thinking about someone, and they would call me out of the blue. These things happened so often that I couldn't dismiss them as coincidences anymore. I started to realize that the universe really was responding to my new way of thinking, my new way of speaking, my new way of being. Opportunities came from nowhere. People started treating me better, not because I was trying to manipulate them or impress them, but because I was carrying myself differently. I was speaking from a place of confidence instead of insecurity. I was making decisions from trust instead of fear. I was showing up as someone who expected to be received well, and people received me well. Things I needed just showed up at the perfect time. Money would come from unexpected sources exactly when I needed it most. Job opportunities would appear just when I was ready for a change. The right people would enter my life precisely when I needed their help or support. Relationships improved dramatically. When you truly believe you're loved by the universe, you stop trying to earn love from other people. You stop being needy or desperate or clingy. You show up as someone who is already whole, already complete, already loved, and people are drawn to that energy. Health improved, stress decreased, sleep became more restful, food tasted better, colors seemed brighter, life became more joyful, more peaceful, more exciting all at the same time. But here's the most important thing. The biggest change wasn't in my external circumstances, though those did change dramatically. The biggest change was in how I felt about myself and my life. I stopped feeling like I had to fight for every good thing. I stopped feeling like I was alone in the world. I stopped feeling like I had to prove my worth. I started feeling loved, really, truly, deeply loved, not just by the people in my life, but by life itself, by existence itself, by the very force that keeps my heart beating and my lungs breathing and the stars shining in the sky. When you feel that loved, when you know you're that supported, when you trust you're that protected, everything else becomes easier. Problems don't disappear, but your relationship to problems changes completely. You face them knowing you have infinite resources at your disposal. You handle them knowing that even if you can't see the solution right now, the universe is already working things out for you. This is what's possible for you too. This is what's waiting for you when you start living like the universe's favorite. Not someday, not when you finally get your life together, not when you finally deserve it. Right now, today, this moment. As you step into the truth of being the universe's favorite, you discover a love that was always there. You realize that what you've been searching for your whole life was never actually missing. It was just covered up by old beliefs, old programming, old stories about who you thought you had to be to deserve love. What you see around you starts to change because you finally see yourself clearly. When you know you're loved, you start making choices that someone who is loved would make. When you know you're protected, you start taking risks that someone who is protected would take. When you know you're chosen, you start living like someone who is chosen would live. The secret is not waiting for the universe to prove it loves you. The universe has been proving it every day of your life. The secret is not waiting for evidence that you're special. The evidence has been there all along. The secret is accepting that you were chosen from the very beginning. Just like a loving parent can't help but take care of their favorite child, the universe can't help but shower you with blessings when you accept your place. When you stop fighting against love, when you stop pushing away good things because you don't think you deserve them, when you stop sabotaging your own happiness because some part of you believes you're not worthy, the universe can finally give you everything it's been trying to give you all along. Your journey as the universe's favorite is really a journey back home to yourself, back to the truth you knew before the world taught you to doubt it. Back to the love you felt before people convinced you it had to be earned. back to the knowing you had before life made you forget how special you really are. This isn't about becoming someone new. This is about remembering who you've always been. This isn't about earning a place you don't have. This is about claiming the place that was always yours. This isn't about convincing the universe to love you. This is about accepting the love that never stopped flowing. When you make this shift, when you step into this truth, when you start living from this knowing, everything changes. Not because the universe suddenly decides to favor you, but because you finally stop blocking the favor that was always there. Not because you become worthy of love, but because you remember you were always worthy. Not because you earn your place as the favorite, but because you claim the place that was never in question. I hope these words become the daily reminder that changes your whole life. I hope you wake up tomorrow morning and speak them like you mean them. I hope you look for the signs and celebrate when you find them. I hope you live like someone who knows they're deeply loved, because you are. If this message touched your heart, if something inside you recognized the truth in these words, please like and subscribe to this channel. When you do that, you're not just supporting me, you're declaring that you're ready to live like the universe's favorite. You're saying yes to a new way of being. Share this video with someone who needs to remember they're special too. Someone who's been struggling to feel worthy. Someone who's been waiting for permission to believe they matter. Someone who needs to hear that they're the universe's favorite just as much as you are. Leave a comment below and tell me, what's one way the universe showed you love today? What's one sign of favoritism you noticed? What's one blessing you maybe took for granted before, but now you're grateful for? I read every comment, and I love hearing how this message is changing lives. Remember, you are not an accident. You are not a mistake. You are not here by chance. You are the universe's favorite person, and it's time you started living like it. The mirror principle that we explored today, understanding that you are the universe's favorite, isn't just a nice idea or a feel-good concept. It's a fundamental truth that has the power to transform every area of your life when you truly embrace it. You've learned that the universe has been showing you favoritism every single day of your life. From the breath in your lungs to the beating of your heart to every opportunity and blessing that has come your way. You've discovered that feeling like the favorite takes time because your mind needs to unlearn old programming and embrace a new way of seeing yourself. You now have the exact words to speak every morning that will align you with this truth. I am the universe's favorite person. Everything works out for me. I am loved, chosen, and protected always. And you understand how to live from this knowing every single day, looking for confirmations and celebrating every sign of love. This is your invitation to step into the life you were always meant to live. A life where you wake up knowing you're loved. A life where you expect good things because you remember who you are. A life where you face challenges with confidence because you know the most powerful force in existence is on your side. Your journey as the universe's favorite begins today. Thanks for letting me remind you of who you really are. Take care and see you soon.